Hello friends, welcome to UGC E-PG Pathshala program. I am Dr. Kavita Arora. I am teaching at Department of Geography, Shaheed Bhagat Singh College at University of Delhi. Today we will talk about water availability, scarcity and climate change. The water situation in India seems to be going from bad to worse. Not only is there a growing scarcity of water in the country, the agriculturally important regions like Punjab, Haryana, Tamil Nadu and Rajasthan are facing a steady fall in their groundwater level and deterioration of water quality as well. While in the per capita availability of utilizable water in India in 1951 was 3,450 cubic meter, in 1999 it came down to 1,250 cubic meters. This, according to the Ministry of Water Resource, is expected to decrease to 662 cubic meter per person in 2050. In 2015, only 78% of the rural and 85% of the urban Indians had access to potable water. Rapid depletion of the groundwater level and quality is a cause of great concern for India, as its agriculture depends overwhelmingly on this source of water. One estimate has it that groundwater sources account for as much as 70 to 80% of the value of the agricultural produce. Attributable to irrigation, rain-fed farming also has a distinct place in the country's agriculture, occupying 67% of the cultivated area, contributing 44% of the food grains and supporting 40% population. In fact, even after realizing the complete area will continue to depend on the rainfall. So there is an urgent need to emphasize on water situation, its scarcity and quality deterioration over time, so that timely management and planning can be done. Now let us see water availability. The National Commission on Integrated Water Resource Development Plan estimates that total water resource potential of country or natural water availability as 1953 billion cubic meter and 1520 billion cubic meter surface water is there. Due to variability in time and space and topographical challenges, the usable surface water resources are 690 billion cubic meter. Total replenishable groundwater is estimated at 43,294 and billion cubic meter available groundwater resources are estimated at 396 billion cubic meter. Total water resources are 1086 billion cubic meter. Although the estimate does not include water resources of areas of North Ladakh not draining into Indus and the Andaman and Nicobar Island and Lakshadweep. The Central Water Commission estimated water resources as 1123 billion cubic meter. Surface water in India consists of 22 major river basins. National level statistics for water availability mask huge disparity basin to basin and region to region. Especially, the utilizable resource availability in the country varies from 18,417 cubic meter in the Brahmaputra Valley to as low as 180 cubic meter in the Sabarmati Basin. Rajasthan, for instance, with 9% of country's population has only 1% of the country's water resources, while Bihar with 10% of population has just 5% of the water resources. Thus, while India is considered rich in terms of annual rainfall and total water resources, its uneven geographical distribution causes severe regional and temporal shortage. The annual estimate of surface water in India is 1,86,900 crore cubic meter. Most of the surface water in India comes from 14 major river systems. the Ganga, Brahmaputra, Sindhu, Godavari, Krishna, Brahmani, Mahanadi, Mahi, Narmada, Tapi, Sabarmati, Kaveri and Periyar. These river systems constitute 83% of the drainage basin, account for 80% of the surface flow and house 80% of the total population of the country. Apart from them, there are 44 medium and 55 minor river systems. Most of these are fast flowing, rain fed and originate in the ghats. Abundant groundwater resources are found only to the northern and coastal plains. Elsewhere they are inadequate. About 300 lakh hectare meter water is available in India at present. Unfortunately, every year quality of underground water is reducing. Although about 270 lakh hectare meter water is added to underground water every year, though infiltration of rainwater and seepage from canals, but so much excessive water is being used in agriculture and industry that the water level is going lower and lower day by day. In eastern Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, West Bengal and Odisha, there is thick layer of marshy soil spread over the ground, hence they are more suitable for underground water development. Because of lesser depth, the level of groundwater development is 6% in Odisha, 19% in Bihar, 24% in West Bengal and 34% in western Uttar Pradesh. Since the depth of groundwater in these states varies from 5 to 10 meters, hence use of groundwater is comparatively easier here. In addition to rivers, a large number of reservoirs, lakes, ponds, wetlands, mangroves, etc. are in the entire country. These water bodies are the lungs of the country that regulate both the quality and quantity of water in addition to supporting the various life forms. Due to the increasing population in the country, the national per capita annual availability of water has reduced from 1816 cubic meter in 2001 to 1544 cubic meters in 2011. This is a reduction of 15%. The problem of water shortage will be further complicated when we look at the areal distribution of water resources with reference to population. In spite a large network of river and other water bodies in our country, we face the problem of availability of drinking water and water scarcity. India is facing an increasingly urgent situation as its finite and fragile water resources are stressed and depleting, while different sectoral demands are growing rapidly. This situation has developed incrementally but is nevertheless dramatic. Now let us look at water scarcity situation. There are several ways of defining water scarcity. Generally, water scarcity is the lack of sufficient available water resources to meet water needs within a region. Water scarcity involves water shortage, water stress or deficits and water crisis. The relatively new concept of water stress is difficult in obtaining sources of fresh water for use during a period of time. It may be result in further depletion and deterioration of available water resources. Water shortage may be caused by climate change such as altered weather pattern including droughts or floods, increased pollution and increased human demand and overuse of water. The term water crisis labels a situation where the available potable unpolluted water within a region is less than that region's demand. India, which has 16% of the world's population, 2% of the world's land area and 4% of the world water resource, is already heading towards a state of water crisis. A late monsoon in 2002 resulted drought in 13 of the 29 states in the country, but drought apart, otherwise too, there is a huge gap between the quantity of water that is made available to us by Mother Nature and the quantity that we are utilizing. India to become water stressed by 2050. India's total annual renewable freshwater resource are estimated at 2086 billion cubic meter. However, the annual average water availability in terms of utilizable water resources within the limitation of physiographic conditions, socio-political environment, legal and constitutional constraints and the technology of development as available is estimated at 1086 billion cubic meter, comprising 690 billion cubic meters of surface water and 395.6 billion cubic meter of groundwater. India will be on the list of water stressed country by the year 2025, when nearly half the world population will experience water shortage and also come into the categories of high and extremely high water stress condition. Today, nearly 1.2 million people do not have access to safe drinking water. The stress on water resources is the result of a multitude of factors such as rapidly rising population and changing lifestyle that have increased the need for fresh water and intense competition among agriculture, industry and the domestic sector that is pushing the groundwater table deeper. Nearly 40% of India's urban population, which is below the poverty line, has no access to water. The scenario in rural area is also worse. In 1985, there were 750 villages without water resources, with the number increasing to 65,000 villages in 1996. But these figures of fast depleting water table have another story to tell. It has changed the lifestyle of the villages. Now, one study conducted by TERI in 350 households in 20 villages in the district of Thiruvananthapuram, Solan, Raichur and Bikaner threw up some interesting facts. In all the villages surveyed, water scarcity was a common problem, but the perceptions were different. For some areas in Bikaner and Raichur, water shortage meant shortage even for drinking, and in Solan, the problem connected to shortage for irrigation purposes. For instance, of the villages surveyed in Bikaner, there were cause of household with 5 to 6 members managing with just 10 liters of water in a day, while in the villages of Solan, drinking water did not appear to be a problem, but water for irrigation was an immediate requirement. On the other hand, the villages surveyed in the Thiruvananthapuram did not face water scarcity except in summer months, when few households in coastal villages experienced the problem of salt water mixing with the water in wells. In all the villages surveyed, it appeared that there was considerable effort for collecting water for drinking and other household uses. The stress varied from region to region depending on water resources, waiting time and number of trips required. The Central Groundwater Board has recorded a yearly drop of 2.5 to 3 meter in groundwater level of Ahmedabad urban areas, where the rate of exploitation of cities aquifer is 1.23%. The worst affected are the states of Rajasthan, Gujarat, parts of Andhra Pradesh and western Madhya Pradesh, where water was abundantly available. 10 to 15 years ago, the groundwater table in these areas has fallen below 300 meters. Now drought has become a yearly phenomena. As per estimate of 2010, 839 blocks were reported overexploited, while 226 blocks were reported to be critical in terms of groundwater development. The proportion of overexploited blocks was reported high in Punjab, Delhi, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Haryana and Andhra Pradesh. There has been a gradual increase in dark blocks in India during 1984-85 to 2015. The highest increase has been reported in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu. Critical 4 Indian states are Punjab, Rajasthan, Haryana and Delhi are depleting at least 30% more of their groundwater resources than previously estimated by government. The scientists report that these states have depleted on an average 17.7 billion cubic meter of water annually between August 2002 and October 2015. This is more than the government's estimate of 13.2 billion cubic meter in the same period. The groundwater depletion in the region was equivalent to a net irreplaceable loss of 109 billion cubic meter, nearly 20% of annual water consumption of 634 billion cubic meter. Besides this, mega cities receive 150 liter LPCD town with population more than 1 lakh, where sewerage system exists 135 LPCD and other town get 70 LPCD water supply. Water scarcity status in river basins. Let us see the situation of river basin. It will be pertinent to describe the two important river basins in the Indian subcontinent which have their ramification on relations with the neighboring countries vis-a-vis Pakistan, Nepal and Bangladesh. These are Indus Basin and Ganga Basin. Indus Basin. The Indus Basin begins in Tibet and flows through India and Pakistan. About 60 million people resides in the basin area, which covers the northern and northeastern states. The fight for water has been ongoing in the Indus Basin, with water table dropping because of groundwater overpumping and basin running dry during the summer season. Water scarcity in this basin is an international issue. After the independence, India and Pakistan nearly went to war over this basin. However, a water treaty was established in 1960 and that has proved resilient Ganga Basin. The Ganga, the subcontinent's largest and most important river, rises in Nepal and flows 1,400 miles through three densely populated Indian states of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and West Bengal before entering Bangladesh and flowing into the Bay of Bengal. The Ganga river basin within India encompasses nearly 26% of the total geographical area of the country and is inhabited by 323 million people. Physical cropland in the Indian part of the basin is estimated to be 58 million hectares or 30% of the total cropland of the country, of which 20% is irrigated. Even though the Ganga does not seem water scarce based on total annual flow, it often experiences severe water stress from January to April and floods during other months. There was perpetual serious disputes over sharing of Ganga water with the then East Pakistan. The conflict persisted even after creation of Bangladesh. If you look at the other river basin, apart from these two important river basins, there are other river basins and a number of states have become embroiled in disputes over water rights and over dams that might provide more water for one state but at the expenses of another. Water's dispute, if not attended to, will become a major headache for the stability of Indian society, says Mohan Katkarki, a lawyer representing Karnataka state in a water dispute with Andhra Pradesh. These two states are arguing the court over the height of a dam on Krishna river, which could affect the amount of water available for use by both states. Similarly, conflict over sharing Kaveri water among the riparian state of Kerala, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and Pondicherry has taken a serious dimension. Thus, water is becoming a contentious issue in India, as the disputes over the sharing of Kaveri water has all clearly shown. This has sharply brought home the urgency of cooperative and integrated management of water resources. Now, if you look at the water quality issue, importance and scarcity of water is well known, but even 10% part of fresh water is not free from water pollution. Rivers, lakes, tanks and underground water are continuously become polluted and deteriorating its water quality day by day. Water quality is a complex subject which involves physical, chemical, hydrological and biological characteristics of water and their complex and delicate relations. From the user's point of view, the term water quality is defined as those physical, chemical or biological characteristics of water by which the user evaluates the acceptability of water. For example, for drinking water should be pure, wholesome and potable. Similarly, for irrigation, dissolved solids and toxicants are important. For outdoor bathing, pathogens are important and water quality is controlled accordingly. If you look at the water quality standards, the Central Pollution Control Board CPCB is the regulatory authority of water quality in India. The various physiochemical and biological parameters of quality of different classes of water are already discussed above. It becomes apparent that most of the drinking water of river in India at various locations are generally not suitable for direct use, as their BOD value and coliform counts are higher than the prescribed limits. A concept of designated best use was developed. According to this concept, out of several uses, a water body is put to the use which demands highest quality of water is termed as designated best use, and accordingly the water body is designated. Primary water quality criteria for different uses have been identified. Water quality status in India. The water quality monitoring results obtained during 1995 to 2015 indicates that the organic and bacterial contamination are continued to be critical in water bodies. This is mainly due to discharge of domestic waste water, mostly in untreated form, from the urban centers of the country. The municipal corporation at large are not able to treat increasing load of municipal sewage flowing into water bodies without treatment. Secondly, the reviewing water bodies also do not have adequate water for dilution. Therefore, the oxygen demands and bacterial pollution is increasing day by day. It becomes evident from figure below that overall fresh water in India is slightly alkaline with a lot of HCO and Ca2. About 2.17 lakh of habitation in India were reported affected with quality of water. Most of such habitations have been reported in the state of West Bengal, Rajasthan, Odisha, Karnataka and Assam. The fluoride affected habitation were reported mainly in the states of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat and Andhra Pradesh, while arsenic affected habitation were reported mainly in West Bengal. About 66.62 million rural population of the country is forced to consume fluoride contaminated water. This constitutes about 7% of the total rural population. The proportion consuming fluoride contaminated water has been reported high in the states of Rajasthan, followed by Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Several regions of the urban and coastal belts in India have been declared hot spot due to transport of contaminated surface water from urban areas to coastal area. Similarly, all regions of the country that do not meet even the water quality criteria class E can also be considered as potential hot spots. Areas where water availability is fairly very low due to poor rainfall, such as Gujarat, Rajasthan and Tamil Nadu, may also be considered as potential hot spots. Regions with specific problems of fluoride and arsenic are also hot spots. These include Ajmer in Rajasthan, Anantapur in Andhra Pradesh and 7 districts in West Bengal and Bangladesh. Even in Delhi, highly acidic industrial effluents from metal based small scale units discharge into small water bodies that in turn drain into the river Yamuna. Hence, all such water bodies are potential hot spots in India. Most of the rivers at a few selectively points such as Rishikesh for Ganga, Ranganathanittu for the Kaveri and Mandvi in the Goa are suitable for bathing. Water for number of water bodies such as the Sukna lakes in Chandigarh, Ramgarh lake in Udaipur, Astimudi lake in Kerala and Narmada river in Bharuch is suitable for drinking water. After conventional treatment and disinfection, some lakes in Pondicherry and Ganga at Varanasi belong to class E. There are still some water bodies at various places throughout the country that are even below class E, meaning totally unfit for any use. Such water bodies includes the river Sabarmati in Ahmedabad, Elephanta Island in Maharashtra, and Astha Mundi backwater in Quilin, Kerala. Now let us look at the climate change and water resources in India. Climate change is a change of climate which is attributed directly or indirectly to human activity that alters the composition of the global atmosphere and which is in addition to natural climate variability observed over comparable time period. The World Bank report turned down the heat why a 4 degree centigrade warmer world must be avoided, recognizes that the impact of climate change would differently distributed across the world and will be felt disproportionately in the tropics and among the poor because the geographic and socio-economic conditions produce certain vulnerabilities in different regions. According to the report, is particularly vulnerable as the region hosts a fourth of the world population. That number now stands at 1.7 billion, but it will rise to 2.3 billion in 2050. With widespread poverty, the impacts of climate change could severely affect the economy, water resource, agriculture and population movement due to intense heat, flooding or diseases. India is a vast country with a rural population of 700 million people subsisting on climate sensitive sector of agriculture, forest and fisheries with the support of natural resources like a water biodiversity, mangrove, coastal areas and grassland for livelihood. The timely arrival of the summer monsoon is critical for the rural economy of India as well as the region. The ability of dry land farmers, forest dwellers, fishermen and nomadic tribes to adapt to climate change is poor. Decrease in the availability of seasonal water together with population increases may have severe effect on water and food security. The IPCC Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change report predicts that there will be a 2.7 to 4.3 centigrade increase in temperature in India by 2080. The panel also mentions an increase in rainfall over the subcontinent by 6 to 8% and a rise in sea level by 88 cm by 2100. The most recent modeling done for India is based on the Regional Climate Modeling System known as PRECIS developed by the Hadley Center using IPCC scenario. Climate change is projected to have vast adverse effect on India's water resources and further complicate and impact intensity, spatial and temporal variability of rainfall, evaporation rates and temperature in different agroclimatic zones and river basins. The impact of climate change vulnerability would be varied in different regions, states and districts of India and will be felt in both surface water and groundwater resources. Estimates of the rise in temperature in India are based on different models and they come with considerable uncertainty. However, there is high confidence that the temperature increases will be above any level experienced in the last 100 years. For example, Kumar et al. In 2010 estimates that a local warming of 2 degrees centigrade is expected by mid-century and 3.5 degrees centigrade above the 1961 to 1999 mean is projected by the end of the 21st century. This definitely means a fundamental shift in the hydrological regime of not only India but the South Asia in its entirety. Geographically, the mountains of the Himalayas and the Hindu Kush confine the monsoon to the region and influence the water geography of the region in a fundamental manner. Climate change and its impact on water resources impact on hydrology and river flows. The Ganga, Brahmaputra and the Indus River are fed by the Tibetan Plateau and adjacent mountain ranges. Over 50% of the bird's population lives downstream of the Great Himalayan region, where increasing occurrence of low snow years and a shift to an extreme winter spring runoff and extremely slow summer runoff would increase flood risk during winter, spring and decrease availability of fresh water during summer. More recent research demonstrate a rapid increase in the frequency of low snow years in the coming few decades, with shift towards high runoff and spring flows and very low summer flows well before a 2 degree centigrade warming. Thus, precipitation change, loss of glacial ice and a changing snow melt regime could lead to substantial changes in the downstream flow. Hydrological stress in snow dependent region is likely to intensify beginning in near term decades, when global warming is likely to remain within 2 degrees centigrade of the pre-industrial baseline. It seems that unless remediation steps succeeded, the water resources in river basins are likely to decline. The reduction in precipitation will lead to reduction in water yields. This situation refers to the period of mid-century scenario, where warming will be around 2 to 3 degrees centigrade, but the situation under the end of the century scenario improve, where all rivers exhibit increase in precipitation. There is also a predicted increase in the water yields of the river under end of century scenario, but for the majority of the river system, evapotranspiration also increases by more than 40%. The only two river basins which show some decrease in evapotranspiration under the end of century scenario, the Kaveri and Krishna. The major reason for evapotranspiration is increases in temperature and precipitation, impact on water security. Although it is difficult to predict the exact nature of impact on climate change, and it may take decades to fully understand the impacts of temperature rise and subsequent glacial melting and sea level rise, all this uncertainty in such a fluid situation is even more alarming. One study which applies a multifactorial water security index finds that on a scale of 0 to 1, central India stands between 0.8 and 1, and along the mountain ranges of the western Ghat of South India. In the northern eastern states of India, the threat level is high to very high. Using another benchmark based on the Falcon Mark Index, a country is considered water stressed if less than 1700 metric ton river basin runoff per capita is available, and the entirety of South Asia falls under that category. ESCAP identifies India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Maldives and Nepal as water hotspots in the Asia Pacific region. Climate change envisions changes in water availability, leading to migration, displacement of people, livelihood losses to agriculture and fishing, diseases and conflict that could have spillover effects across boundaries. Projections demonstrate that climate change will aggravate the pressure on water resources due to an already increasing population and its water demand. Impacts on water availability. One of the key fundamentals of water security is reliable availability of and access to water resources to meet people's basic needs and support their livelihoods and quality of life. Studies estimates that gross per capita availability, including surface and replenishable groundwater, is supposed to decline from 1829 cubic meter to 1140 cubic meter in 2050 due to population growth alone. Without taking other factors into account, India will be water scarce in 2050 with population alone. By altering hydrological patterns and freshwater system, climate change poses an additional risk to water security, mainly to the agriculture sector, which is the largest consumer of blue water in India. Rising sea level with entering salt water will also threaten water availability. Thus, the shortfall of surface water and groundwater availability and excess under climate change exposes the population to severe risk, including food scarcity and threats to livelihood security. Impacts on water quality: in addition to water availability and access, clean potable water is also an important element of water security. Using water quality responses to 6 hypothetical climate change scenario simulated by the water quality model. Call to K. Rehana and Mazumdar in 2011 in a study concluded that each scenario would impair water quality. Their results showed a significant decrease in DO, dissolved oxygen level, due to the impact of climate change on temperature and flows, even when the discharges were at safe permissible levels set by pollution control agencies. IPCA's transboundary and interstate challenges: since the major river basin in the northern region of the Indian subcontinent extend into the border of other states, water resource might become even more contentious as climate change intensifies. Changes in rainfall pattern leading to decades increased flows in different areas of different times may decreases water availability downstream as water is abstracted upstream due to limited availability. Several interstate disputes already exist among the states in India, and these could be further aggravated due to climate change. For example, a projected decline in the runoff of many river basins will put additional pressure on interstate and intrastate management of rivers. Effects of water scarcity: abundant due to climate change, drought of the 10 most severe drought disasters globally in the last century in terms of the number of people affected, 6 were from India, affecting up to the 300 million people. Central Water Commission of India has identified 99 districts forming parts of 14 states as drought prone. Most of the drought prone areas are in Rajasthan, Karnataka, Andhra, Maharashtra and Gujarat. Drought prone region in Andhra Pradesh would experience a 20% plunge in the income of dry land farmers by 2050. The country is expected to experience a 70% decline in annual rainfall during summer. From a water security perspective, the country may suffer from hydrological drought due to climate change. Droughts originate due to a lack or deficiency in precipitation, which affect the whole hydrological regime. For example, a precipitation deficiency may result in a rapid depletion of soil moistures that immediately affect agriculture and food production. Hydrological drought depends upon temperature and precipitation and is therefore subject to climate change. In states like Rajasthan, a rise in temperature will lead to greater severity of droughts due to higher absorption and decreased precipitation floods. Increase in temperature, precipitation and evapotranspiration promotes thunderstorms and cause flash floods. Riverine floods may result due to monsoon runoff increase and higher precipitation. A wide range of flooding can occur from flash floods, inland river floods, landslides, coastal floodings, storm surges and glacial lake outburst. Effects on hydropower production: with growing energy demand and an untapped hydropower potential, India has been planning to invest in hydropower on a big scale to maintain its target 8 to 9% growth rates, with the river project to increase in variability and decrease in volume. Hydropower generation will become a major challenge. Increased siltation will add to the problem of malfunctioning turbines. Additionally, small hydropower plants could be damaged by floods with glacial lake outburst, causing a lot of physical damage to the plants, infrastructure and people. This will have implications for an energy supply which provides about 66% of access to electricity in India. The impact of climate change on seasonal water availability would confront population with ongoing and multiple challenges to safe drinking water access, sufficient water for irrigation and adequate cooling capacity for thermal power production. There is uncertainty regarding its management and supply. The real challenges lies in reducing the probability of water induced conflicts under changing climate. For dealing with the impacts of climate change in India and the region will require shifts in adoption strategy and mitigation policy as a precautionary principles. Hope you understood the climate change and its impact on water resources. Thank you.